Hi everyone, I am Ketra. We are going to do a collective reading together today, and the intention of this reading is for those sober souls, those on the spiritual path to recovery and to healing from so many things, from healing from addictions to behaviors that no longer serve you, past traumas, those kind of things where you're on the path now to spiritual recovery. So no matter where you are in your spiritual path to recovery, as I am finding as I'm trying to help you guys with each of these spiritual steps, it is literally a reminder of why and how we became on this path and how it is we're able to continue on this path and to not go back to those ways that no longer serve us. So today's intention is going to be step 7. So step 7 is an amazing step because again, it's more of the letting go. It is connecting with the divine, connecting with God. And things that I wrote down that I wanted to touch on are giving yourself back to your soul's path, a direction to God and the divine. So as we go through the oracle readings, I'm going to touch on some of the things that I wrote out that I wanted to share in reference to step 7, which is an amazing step because again, you no longer have to drive the bus anymore by yourself. When you are at step 7 or revisiting step 7, you are asking for a higher power, God, the divine, to remove all your character defects, all your shortcomings, all of the reasons why you were the way you were before, or had the behaviors that you had before, or continued on those cycles that you were in before. So this is an amazing step. We're going to take a look at where you're at on your soul's path right now as you are either revisiting or are on step 7. So your first message is Architect of Realities. You command the forces of action with mastery. Your vision becomes reality because you align thought and feeling and deed. Lead with integrity. And so once you ask God or the divine to take away those difficulties, take away those shortcomings, you can literally line yourself back up on your soul's path, which is what I wrote down. Giving yourself back to your soul's path, a direct connection to God, to your higher power. The core principle is humility. So moving forward, you recognize one's limitations and inability to overcome these issues through self-will alone. And so when you're at this path and you're on this step, you're not doing it alone. You're doing it because you've asked your higher power to take your shortcomings away, to take the inability to do this on your own away. You also have vision. You are at this point, step 7, and even again, you are receiving glimpses of a future aligned with your highest self. Trust the images arriving in your dreams and inner knowing. Begin shaping this vision into a reality. So you can ask yourself, what and how would you feel if you were able to have these character defects, these shortcomings removed? How would it feel? How would your life look if you were able to get back onto your soul's alignment, the other things that I wanted to touch on, this is a conscious, prayerful act of surrender. Yes, thank God. You can surrender all of these things to the divine, all of these things to a higher power. You can simply ask. Allowing, and what this does is allows for a personal transformation and the development of a spiritual life. You just simply can ask God, please take these things away from me. And of course, this is having gone through steps 1 through 7. And if you were honest about each one of those steps, then this is what you get. You get the ability to connect with a higher power and ask God to take it away. So next, we're going to tap into your inner child. We're just going to get messages from the inner child because, again, this is what it's all about, connecting yourself to the divine. And part of yourself is we all have an inner child that if we just paid attention to what we really want to do and how we really want to be, we would have a better outcome. We would have, every day would just be better if we could just tap into the divine, God, and tap into your higher self, which is basically your inner child. What does your inner child want you to know today? Okay. It is listen. Your inner child has something to say, which is exactly what I was asking by using these cards is what does our inner child want you to know right now while you're on this path? So we're going to get another card, but I think the intention is to just, I'm going to ask you to take a deep breath, sit back, relax so that you can really receive the message that you're clearly meant to get today. So, one message is go on an adventure. Today is the day to try something daring. So, consider that a message from your inner child. Another message is wow, you do not have to go it alone. You do not have to go it alone. Reach out for support in this time. So, this is directly from your inner child is asking you to ask for help. Ask the divine for help. Ask God to remove your shortcomings. That is, you saw me shuffle. I couldn't have planned that better myself. So definitely thank you to my guides for pulling that card out for us today because you don't have to go at it alone. So again, I am on the spiritual path of recovery too. If you need a little bit of help, a little bit of guidance, short of requesting a one-on-one, if you just need to talk and kind of go over some of these things while you're on your spiritual path of recovery, feel free to reach out to me, leave a comment, or send me an email and let me know how I can get to you and we will go from there. Okay. So as we continue on, so now what we're going to do is we're kind of going to shift the energies to you. And when I say that, I mean, like, where are you at right now? If you're watching this video and you're on the path to recovery, whether you've gone through the steps or not, where are you guys at right now? Okay, so we have two. We have 7 of Michael and 8 of Michael. Wow, okay. So 7 of Michael. There is a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. That's just so fantastic. 8 of Michael. You can be free. Make a courageous choice to change your situation. And it says not seeing things clearly. And I think, yeah, for sure. We weren't able to see things clearly before. But when we reach out to help, when we tap into the divine, this is what you get. This is my life. This is what happens almost on the daily. When I ask for help, I get it. I said a meditation before this reading, and I asked to be able to help those that are in need, in recovery, and they have been giving us amazing information, amazing advice. You don't have to do this alone. So I'm kind of excited to see where we're at with tarot. So what we're going to do is we're just going to shuffle and man, I just feel a lot of gratitude right now. A lot of gratitude for the divine, a lot of gratitude directly to God for helping me to continue on this path. Wow. So the energy right now is the Tower. So the Tower, some people are like, whoa, that's awful. No, the Tower, good. The Tower, it took a change in your life for you to be able to be at this point right now. So, and this I feel is a huge step because it's humility. It's like, yeah, I can't do this on my own. So you need a tower moment to happen in your life. And that's not like, death and destruction or anything like that. That is literally you on the brink of going through a major change because I believe I believe all of the spiritual steps to recovery, each single one on its own, amazing. But when you start taking those steps and you're going up and up and up, and I feel like it gets your connection closer to God because it's the spiritual life. And it is the best one out there because you never have to feel alone again. Driving in a car, walking by yourself, you're never alone. You can just continue to have that open connection to God. And so how you got here was a Tower moment. So what is your, what is your crossing energy that's either helping or hurting you right now? Are my cards upside down? They are. I don't read reverse. You have the 9 of Pentacles. So this is what this step gives you. The 9 of Pentacles is everything abundantly flowing to you. You're doing the steps, you're putting in the work, you're making that connection to God, and your earthly stuff starts to change. So the Nine of Pentacles is she has put in so much work on herself. And if you've gotten to the seven, I was going to say to the Seven of Pentacles, if you've gotten to step seven, again, or revisiting, this is what your life is like. Everything just starts to flow a lot easier. So I also did this like 40-day, I say it's like a spiritual like reboot recently, and it's with Lisa Natoli, and you can like Google it and look it up. She's absolutely amazing. And it's every single day kind of going over certain things, and it just really opens our eyes to how blocked we are by our thoughts and the things that we think we have to do. But when we really give it up to God and we ask Him to take away everything, this is the life that you get. Everything seems to be more abundant in your life. Friends, family, job, your life, the love you have for yourself. You literally feel this way in your life. So we're going to do card 3 is going to be like your past. Okay, so you're 4, you are 3. So in your past, you have had to walk away from the situation that no longer served you. You had to walk away. So in this 5 of Cups, to break the card down, he is, like, let's say, sad for losing the taste of wine. That's just how the card goes. And yes, these messages are to my sober soul. So again, thank you, because that was your past. You had to walk away from people, places, things in your life that were no longer serving you. And so now you have the 5 of Cups showing in your past that that is what you're moving away from. So you're moving away from being in times of like just sorrow and despair and like, I don't know how to do it. Because again, in the card, he's got 2 more cups. Cups are emotions. So you're not out of the emotion, like let's say tank that you need to be able to continue to move on. You've still got it. You can still take those 2 cups of emotion and move forward on your journey. And I think it's awesome that your next card, which is like your future, like future self, I see you celebrating the victories. Every step is a victory. Every day that you're no longer participating in those behaviors that no longer serve you. And whether you know it or not, it is because God is taking them away from you. You don't have to be in that energy anymore. And it's a time to celebrate. So I see you celebrating in your future. You're coming together with friends and family. And I know it's kind of, like ironic because they're holding up cups, but those cups are emotions. Those cups are emotions just rising up and being with each other. And it's knowing that you're on the right path now is the celebration. And you'll be able to feel it, like you'll just know. So we're going to get you advice from above. So your advice from above is the 8 of Swords. So our 8 of Swords, it just tells you, and you know what's so great is this is the 8 of Swords. This is the advice from above. 8 of Swords is stepping away from fear, stepping out of the fear, taking the blindfold off, seeing that you're light, seeing the divine light in you that is being gifted to you from God. And I think it's awesome because if it's advice from above, your next step is step 8. And this is an 8. So going through step 7, you get to step away from fear because you no longer have to fear that you have to do it on your own, because recognizing one's limitations and the inability to overcome these issues through self-will alone, you don't have to do that anymore because you've made that connection to God. So the guides are just telling you, step outside of your fear. Okay. So your next card is going to be, I forget what this intention was on this card. Card 6 is, I just forget. Hold on one second. I'm just going to look really quick. Oh, that's right. I had my notes over here. Card 6 is your best course of action. So we're actually I'm going to do 3 cards. So like, what is your best course of action as you're moving through step 7? Best course of action. Aww. Aww. Okay, cool. So you have the 3 of Wands. So your card that says next best course of action is to plan out what it is that you want moving forward. So all of this work that you're doing for yourself to connect with God, to connect with your higher self, to get back on your soul's path, that's what you've been doing. And that Three of Wands shows that that's what you're doing, literally. The Ace of Pentacles is that gift from the divine. It is the gift from above that you will actually be able to hold on to. It's tangible. It's a gift that's given to you while you're here on earth. And I think it's great that it's the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands, if you look, that person is being backed up against a corner. He is not willing to change his mind basically on his ideas. He's standing firm on what he wants to do. So your advice from the divine is to stand firm on what you believe. And if you truly make the effort to have the connection with the divine, to have the connection with God, then you won't have to be defensive. But right now they're telling you, be solid in your drive and your ambition, because they're wands. So just be solid in your conviction. Just know that this is the best path for you. And it really, truly is. I'm so thankful that these cards came out the way that they did. This is fantastic. So again, I am totally willing to help. If anybody has any questions while they're on their spiritual path to recovery, just feel free to reach out. Thank you for liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. If you feel this message can help somebody, please share my videos. I would appreciate that so very much. So until the next video, which will be step 8, take care and have a great rest of your day.